While we're talking about leadership, let's talk about the new MSCS superintendent, Dr. Marie Fagans. She was recorded, apparently, talking to some staff members and warning them that there would be some cuts on the way, that she's got $150 million worth of cuts, I believe predominantly because of pandemic funds that are drying up, which would amount to about 675 jobs. And I'm just having trouble, so she got on tape saying this. In the Daily Memphian, got to get them their due diligence on that. But then the millions that are being flown around here, I'm having trouble keeping track as a journalist, so I can only imagine what the taxpayers are thinking. In the recent weeks, we've had $28 million. We've done stories about $28 million being handed out in raises for teachers, some significant raises there. Then we had, a week before that, Dr. Fagans' request for $25 million from the city. She said she needed for infrastructure, which I think the city's prepared to give $15 million. We'll see how that all ends up. There was a $200 million request this week for new buildings, and we learned that of the $1.6 billion budget that County Mayor Lee Harris submitted this week, that $427 million will be going to schools. What's the old joke, you know, a million here, a million there?
Pretty soon you got real money.
Real money. It's just very confusing. It's just the way this has been rolled out to me has not been responsible and shown a sensitivity to taxpayers who want to make sure that their dollars are being well spent.
Well, the way I look at this is that, first of all, there may be a lot of employees over there that I'm talking about unnecessary. So you might be able to cut some staffing. But Dr. Fagans has been doing things without any kind of communication.
You reported a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely. I mean, when she asked for that $25 million from the city, she never told anybody on the school board. They were not happy about that. And so she just, you know, we were talking about this before the show, Richard. I mean, sometimes when you take over as the leader of an organization, you're supposed to take the lay of the land first and see what needs to be done, build some alliances, and then make your move. She came in making moves, and she didn't really understand the lay of the land, and she certainly didn't understand that she needs to report to the school board, which is her bosses.
Well, at her position in Detroit Public Schools, she was really only in charge of a $2 million budget for the particular division that she headed up. So you're going from a $2 million budget to one that's close to $2 billion. It's going to be less than that because of these pandemic funds that are drying up. But that's a huge difference in terms of financial accountability.
I do want to say, though, in terms of, I want to push back a little on the idea of making huge moves, because in November of 2023, Chalkbeat reported that this number of jobs were going to be cut to try to reach that $150 million. So this has been set even prior to her taking office. She's just now having to implement what was already put in place. I think also part of the financial confusion is your separate operational dollars and then your capital dollars. And so everything, there's all these numbers flying around, but like they are in separate pots. And then also some of the funding for the teacher pay increases is coming from the state. So it would help to have it all laid out and clearly which is in what pot. But yeah, I think there could be more clarity.
You know, what bothers me about this is that businesses and executives sometimes see positions as line items. Well, every line item has a human being. And so that's why we have humane approaches to layoffs. You give notice. I think the Tennessee Bureau of Labor asks you to give a warn notice when it's more than 400 or 500 people that are being laid off, because it's going to impact the region's economic development as well as the lives of its citizens. And then you set up job readiness programs or know where the jobs are to try to help people prepare for transition. We're seeing none of that. We're seeing no notice given, no job training, no compassion for the people and their lives and the city, because the city will bear the burden of people being unemployed too. And that's what scares me. And this is the second Memphis City Schools, Memphis and Shelby County Schools is the second largest employer in this region, in our area. FedEx is first. And both have had major layoffs. And that's a scary situation. But I bet you they filed their paperwork with the Tennessee Department of Labor to state that they were going to, and it's like you have to give like a 2 or 3 month notice. So people can prepare for a shift or a change.
Well, as these cuts are made, we'll be talking about it, I'm sure. I'm over time on this segment, but nonetheless, she's making some moves. She's getting some attention and stirring things up a little bit. We'll see what happens in the weeks ahead. When we come back, I want to talk about some more leaders that have been making news this week. The Shelby County DA, the mayor of Memphis, and the interim police chief, all saying it is time for lawmakers to do something when it comes to Glock switches. We'll be right back.